Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill, Friday the 16th of July 2021. In today's Millwall news, we got an interview from Jed Wallace to the South London Press, and this is on londonnewsonline.co.uk. And he's talking about his contract, so let's have a read of this. He says, "I'll give my all for Millwall no matter what my contract situation is. Jed Wallace has vowed to give his absolute all for Millwall, and that will always be the case, no matter how long is left on his deal. The 27-year-old attacker, the subject of a bid from Middlesbrough in 2018, is inside the final 12 months of his contract at the South London club. Wallace has hit double figures in his past two championship seasons. The former Portsmouth and Wolves player is adamant any uncertainty over his future will not impede his attitude or approach. My performances can always be up and down, but my level of effort, whether I add 10 years on my contract or 10 hours, will never be different," Wallace exclusively told the South London Press. "I played in non-league until I was 17 years old. I've had the ambition from the age of 10 to work meticulously to get where I am now. I'm certainly not someone who takes it for granted. I absolutely love my job. I feel very, very privileged to play in one of the best leagues in the world and play for a club I've loved playing for since I walked through the door. That's certainly not going to change. Every time I pour in a Millwall shirt, I give my absolute all. Sometimes I might misplace a pass or not win a tackle, but I've played more than 200 games for Millwall. I give my all on the pitch for the football club and off of it for the community. That will never change regardless of what the contract situation is. I'm just focused on getting as fit as I can and playing as well as I can for Millwall to get them as high in the table as we can, as I always have. I've signed for Millwall twice on loan, once permanently, and also signed 2 contracts in that time. My commitment to Millwall isn't something that I question, and I think the fans would have seen that if they saw me play against Motherwell and Watford in our pre-season friendlies. I'll always give 110%, which is why I think I've got a good relationship with the fans." Wallace would be able to leave on a free transfer next July if he does not renew terms, but all he is focused on is being ready for the Championship opener at QPR on August the 7th. Wallace said, "I'm trying to get as fit as I can because I'm finding the pre-season runs quite hard. There was a conversation a couple of months ago about my contract. I've had time off to enjoy my family. This time of the season you don't really worry about what is going on and off the pitch. You focus on getting fit and getting as strong as possible as a group for the first game against QPR. I'm not overly thinking about it. I'm going out and playing as well as I can and letting the club and whoever looks after me deal with that other side of the game." Wallace isn't talking like a player who expects to be on the move this summer and is relishing the EFL Cup tie at home to Portsmouth on August the 10th. Wallace played 121 times for the South Coast Club, scoring 17 goals in his final season there to land a move to Wolves, then in the Championship. His fiance's dad, Mark Catlin, used to be Portsmouth's chief executive. "I'm buzzing for that," said Wallace. "It is huge. My missus' family are all Portsmouth, so every time there's an FA Cup draw, we would pick Portsmouth away over Manchester United away. It will be the first time I've played against them since I left 8 years ago. The added incentive is that the Millwall punters will be able to give Willow the send-off that he deserves. That is also a massive plus. It feels like it's fallen perfectly. I'll always have a huge affiliation with Portsmouth and Millwall. They are 2 clubs I've very much been in love with when I played for them. I'll always look out for them for them 10 or 15 years down the line. They're close to my heart. I'd have hated it if it was behind closed doors. Hopefully the away end will be packed out at QPR. Then we've got Pompey and Blackburn at the Den. They should be brilliant occasions." Wallace has played at every level in England's top 4 divisions. Apart from the Premier League, it remains the ultimate goal. "I've never made any secret of that," he said. "When I was in non-league, I looked at players who had been on that journey, someone close to home like Steve Morrison, to emulate. Doing that at Millwall is my number 1 target. That is what drives me on every day, the thought of getting Millwall into the playoffs and trying to sneak over the line. I've given everything for that over the last 3 or 4 years in the Championship. Me and Coops have probably played more minutes for Millwall over that period than anyone else. I've said it from day one that with the gaffer here now and the chairman along with Steve, who's running the club very well, they can really push this club on and take the next step. Millwall had been a bit of a yo-yo club between League One and Championship, but since Neil Harris took over, we got promoted. We have really managed to stabilise ourselves. You probably look at the likes of Millwall, QPR and Blackburn as really stable Championship clubs. Why can't we push on towards the top half of the table, like we have in the 3 of the last 4 seasons? And with the addition of 2 proven players in Sav and Benik Fobi, it's exciting times ahead." So there's Wallace finally speaking out about his contract. Apparently they've offered him a new one, but he hasn't signed it, and we'll see what happens. I'm guessing, here's what I'm guessing, he's gonna wait till January, because come January he can start speaking to, or his agents can start speaking to other clubs. So then they'll get an offer, they'll get the offers in. Okay, we're interested, and these are the wages we're going to be offering you. So then he can take that offer to Millwall and say, this is what I'm getting here, can you match that? Because I imagine if it's a team in the Premiership, he probably might leave. If it's a team in the Championship but they're offering him more money, it's a sideways move. It's not really beneficial, but the money's there. So if they offer him more money, then he'll be like, well, they're offering me more money, can you match this offer? And if Mill will match the offer, then he'll say, oh, I'll stay here. And I think that's how it's going to go. So we'll see what happens in January. But he's saying all the right things about how hard he's going to be trying them. The fans will be watching the games, and they'll know if he's not putting the effort in, and they'll let him know as well. But yeah, so Wallace has finally spoken about not signing the contract offer that's been put to him, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, moving on. So we got this story here about transfer budgets. So this is from news@den.co.uk, and it says Millwall have reached transfer budget limit, will likely need to raise funds before more recruiting. Now this has kind of been hinted at before. I think Garrett said we're not really bringing anyone else in because we'll need to let people leave, and the most likely ones to leave are John Daly Bavarsson, Ben Thompson, and a couple of players on loan, Isaac Olofi, Alex Mitchell. So if they leave out on loan, wages get paid by loan clubs, or they just leave. In the case of Ben Thompson or John Daly Bavarsson, and then that will mean that the budget that would be spent on their wages can be spent on bringing another player in. So let's have a read of this. Millwall Chief Executive Steve Kavanagh has revealed the transfer budget this summer has been spent, but added that the Lions are in a good position to react to any variable in the rest of the window. Millwall have signed 5 players, all recruited in time to be part of the training camp in Scotland last week, and will now likely have to offload if they want to strengthen further. Boss Gary Rowett would like to bring in another attacker, but room would have to be made in his squad. John Daly Bavarsson is available for transfer, with Rowett telling News@Den recently that the club is open-minded if there is an opportunity for him elsewhere. With the return of George Saville from Middlesbrough, the emergence of Billy Mitchell and the signings of George Evans and Mikael Keftenberg last January, Millwall are well stocked in midfield. Ben Thompson was close to leaving last summer, and Portsmouth remain admirers of their former loan player. The Lions have offered a new contract to Jed Wallace and would have to replace arguably their most important player if he left. Kavanagh said they don't want to lose any major assets, but he added the early business the club completed this summer gives them that time to chase other targets if players depart. The bulk of our business is done, which was always the plan to do that, Kavanagh said. The budget is spent, perhaps overspent, and I need to manage that. I would like to think that most people can see that what we've done is improve the team on the pitch. Things happen in transfer windows, positives and negative, but we've got ourselves a fantastic base from which to work now. The plan isn't for any major assets to go out. We don't want anyone to go out. We want to have a successful season on the pitch. We wouldn't have done the work we've done in pre-season to get the players in if that was the plan, but this is football and things happen. With the stability of the squad we've got, it's a great position from which to manage that in any direction as to what might or might not happen. Normally at this point, if you're chasing 2 or 3 players, and then you've got that variable that anything can happen over and above that, getting that business done early gives us the stability to manage that as well as you can in what is a volatile environment. Kavanagh was asked if there were any developments on Wallace after Rowett said the attacker could wait until later in the summer to weigh up his options. He replied, no, not really. It's been said. The manager said what he said, and we all know the situation. I don't think there's anything more to add to that, really. Jed's a fantastic individual and been a fantastic part of this club. As we stand, he's here for the season, and I'm sure if he is here, then we'll have a fantastic part to play, what will hopefully be a brilliant season. So, kind of seemed in the start of that at the beginning of this article, they're saying, oh, maybe we might have to let Jed Wallace go if we get an offer for him, and now he's saying at the end he's going to be here for the rest of the season. So that's kind of strange. But so the plan isn't for any major assets to go out. But this is football and things happen. So if someone makes an offer for Jed Wallace, and Jed Wallace has not signed his contract yet, he's waiting. What's he waiting for? He's waiting to see what offers he get, so then he can prove he go for Millwall and say, I'm being offered this, can you match it? If you can't, I'm leaving. Ciao ciao, bye bye, adios. So if someone makes an offer, Jed Wallace might be out the door, but that isn't the plan. So we'll see what happens. So the story's saying we've reached our transfer budget limit, but today we were linked with another player. For some reason, I don't know if it's just nonsense. It's this website here, Football League World, bit of a clickbaity website. Birmingham City, Luton Town, and Millwall enter a race for a Premier League player, as Barnsley also circle. Now this Premier League player is a Burnley player, and his name is Josh Benson. Let's have a read of this. This is from footballleagueworld.co.uk. Birmingham City, Luton Town and Millwall are all interested in making a potential move for Burnley midfielder Josh Benson this summer, according to The Athletic. Benson is a player in demand this summer. That comes with the midfielder having managed to show flashes of his potential last season for Burnley in the Premier League, with the 21-year-old making 6 appearances in the league for Sean Dyche's side. It has already recently been reported by the Sun journalist Alan Nixon that Barnsley are interested in making a move for the 21-year-old this summer. It is believed that the Tykes have even submitted an offer of around $650k to Burnley to try and secure his services. The latest report from The Athletic has now outlined that all three of Birmingham, Luton and Millwall are registering an interest in Benson. The Championship trio all look set to battle Barnsley for the midfielder's potential sign over the next few weeks. So how is that if our budget limit has been spent? The midfielder still has a couple more years, so he's got 2 years left on his deal at Burnley, but he might find chances hard to come by in the Premier League next term, and the Championship move could offer him the chance to further develop his game. So will that be a loan? If he's got 2 years left, the loan is a possibility. Now this, he's from Thurrock. He's from South Essex area, so he has been on loan to Grimsby before, which is close to that. It's not that far away from South Essex. He was at Arsenal when he was a youngster. He might want to be coming back to London. Now, is that a loan move or is that something else? Now, if it's 650k, well, here's the thing: we've already spent our money, unless that is Jed Wallace leaves. Now, Jed Wallace leaves. Where's he going to go? Jed Wallace has been linked with Burnley. He's been linked with moving to Burnley, where this Josh Benson plays. So maybe it's a cash and a player swap deal kind of thing. Maybe that's what's going to be happening. Who knows? But yeah, so even though we've done massive amounts of business, signed 5 players, pretty much spent all of our money, we're still being linked with players, so that is a bit weird. But clickbait sites are going to clickbait, you know, they do what they do. So I just want to share that one with you. Moving on now. Now the under 23s played yesterday. They had a cracking result against Dulwich Hamlet. They won 2-0. I told you that the lads scored a bit of a screamer. Let's have a look at this. So Tom Leahys, here we go. I know it's a bit blurry and whatnot. I think it's taken on a phone or something. But Millwall are in yellow. But watch this. So goalkeeper has a bit of a mare. P-roller of a goal kick. And look at that. Boom. What the... Wow. Literally, wow. You can't coach that eye for goal. You can see him look like he's he's crouching down, shuffling his feet. As it comes to him, he leans back, which you're not supposed to do when you shoot. But he needed to do that because he needed the ball to go up and over and come back down. So he leans back, boom, there you go. What a goal that is. What a goal. Tom Leahys. He scored similar against Swansea previously in under 23 game. And he has a knack of scoring these goals. Pretty amazing goals. And we'll look forward to seeing what he does in the rest of the season from the under 23s. Yeah, shame I couldn't be there yesterday with all the nonsense restrictions going on, but hopefully from the 19th we can crack on and we can go to a few games and see what happens. So moving on now to this. So Millwall have been putting up a number of job opportunities, and I thought I would share this one with you guys. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. It's basically a job advert. Lions are hiring marketing content producer. Millwall Football Club is hiring a marketing content producer. This position presents a great opportunity for the role holder to develop and learn at a leading London Championship football club and play a vital role in the running of the marketing and media department. The role includes, but is not limited to, the creation of visual marketing materials for all areas of the business across different print, digital and social platforms, helping to ensure social media, digital and print marketing material is of the highest standard and constantly up to date. So if you're a whiz with Photoshop and image creators and you can do things like this, so you look down here, like, so the bottom left here, a touch of gold, you can do things like that. Anytime they need to get a bit of a message through in terms of images, stuff like that. Yeah, that's what they're looking for. And the closing date for applications is 30th of July, so that's 2 weeks away. So if that's interesting for you, get in touch and have a look and go to the website and click on the link there and see if that's of interest to you. If you're a whiz with Photoshop and graphics and stuff like that, might be up your street, or maybe you know someone who is. Yeah, maybe you could set them off on a lifelong career of football marketing stuff. Moving on, so we've seen the kit. I showed you that yesterday, and one of the sponsors of that kit, the one on the back, is Mansion Bet, and this is from sbcnews.co.uk. It's I think it's a gambling business website, and they say Mansion Bet has extended its principal betting sponsorship of South London EFL Championship Football Club Millwall FC. Renewing its sponsorship duties for a further season, the Mansion Bet brand will also be displayed on the back of the Lions matchday shirts. Mansion Bet initiated its sponsorship of Millwall in January 2020, with the Gibraltar-based bookmaker choosing to maintain its sponsorship duties during last year's lockdown, helping Millwall with its community directives. Stuart Locke, commercial director at Millwall FC, added, "We are delighted to confirm Mansion Bet as backup shirt sponsor ahead of the 21-22 season. The club has already enjoyed a fruitful relationship with Mansion Bet since coming on board, and we look forward to working closely with them as sponsors. As supporters return to stadiums after 18 months of restrictions, with benefits in and out of the den, Lions fans will be able to benefit from the partnership and win some exclusive prizes. Manchester Bet stated its eagerness at welcoming fans back to the Den on 14th of August as Millwall was scheduled to play Blackburn Rovers. Manchester Bet stated the announcement follows Manchester Bet's renewal of Portsmouth City FC earlier this month, where they are the club's principal partner and forms part of their portfolio of football sponsorships. Dana Bocker, head of integrated marketing at Manchester Bet, said, "Since forming our partnership with Millwall, we've been able to engage with the fans through social media networks. With restrictions lifting, we're excited to be able to finally connect with them in the stadium through activations and our own in-stadium reps. We're proud to support the English Championship and increase our brand presence throughout a truly passionate homegrown club." So there you go. It's good to see that a sponsor isn't scared of getting on Millwall shirts. And yeah, even though it is a betting company and a lot of people are kind of against betting companies at the moment because of they believe them to be parasitical and taking advantage of people, but it's more money for the club, isn't it? If it's more money for the club, it's more money for transfers, and that's better players in the team, better results on the pitch. So that's all good. It's all good. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.